So yeah, those injuries or funny situations all could have turned out a lot worse, all those robbery situations, but fortunately they didn't. And even though that date that I just mentioned, that date with that girl, sounds like far from routine, like I say, like I mentioned in one of the previous videos, my life had sort of become a routine. The dating had become a routine. The running, rollerblading, or cycling on the weekend had become a routine. Going to like free movies had become a routine. My teaching schedule was like pretty much the same as the previous year, so that was a routine. Um, I like also kind of felt like I had come to a pretty good understanding of the Argentinian psyche, or at the very least, the Buenos Aires psyche, the Porteño psyche. Like, sort of felt that. I thought the only thing of mine that was still like really developing was my language. I'm very slow at learning languages, and I wasn't putting in a lot of effort, but I felt that my Spanish was still developing, and maybe was even developing at a faster rate at that point. But like that wasn't enough to like feed me really in a full manner. So I started to think kind of like, okay, like where do I want to go? Where can I go? So I started searching online for jobs for teaching English, particularly through our school. International House is a global organization, so there's schools all over the place. So I was looking to see what jobs were available, and there were a couple things up there, and one of them came up for a job in Georgia, the country, Tbilisi being the city, and I don't know anything about Georgia, don't know anything about Tbilisi, so I was like, I'll research this and see, and I was like, absolutely blown away. I was like, oh my god, I want to go there. And like, so I guess the reasons why I could tell you about. So, like I said, with Buenos Aires, it's like an ocean of gray, just buildings. You can't touch the nature. Tbilisi is in a valley, and like more valley than Kamloops. They got valleys everywhere, hills everywhere. So the city's like all sides of it go into nature that you can see all the time, but you can actually have your access point to it too. Smaller than Buenos Aires, so it's like 1.5 million instead of 4 million in the city, and then there isn't that conurbano suburb sprawl like there is in Buenos Aires. So that'll be just interesting. That would be interesting because like maybe not as much art life, but the city looks pretty up there on that. They have a huge techno scene. It's not really my kind of thing, but so I thought it'd be like an interesting life. It looked fairly developed in terms of infrastructure. Um, and the river running through it looked amazing. It's actually pretty damn warm, way warmer than Kamloops in the summer. In the winter, nowhere near as cold as Kamloops. Only gets snow maybe a couple times. So colder than Buenos Aires, but not cold, not real winter cold. So it's like this rules. And the other thing was like I was kind of mentioning the Argentinian psyche, like Latin. I wanted something that wasn't Latin. Like I thought, okay, Argentina is awesome, but I want to try a culture that's completely different, has nothing to do with Latin cultures. So no Italy, no Greece, no Ecuador, no Mexico, something totally different. And like Georgia basically is right beneath Russia and right above Turkey. So in terms of culture, like I don't know anything about any of that. They don't even have the same like letter system as we do. So I was like, oh, this looks awesome. Like a great mix of historical cultures and like super awesome nature and warm and sunny and like fairly developed. I was like, this looks rad. So I was like, okay, well, I'll apply for that. So I applied for that. Only the thing is, okay, so this was in like May and June of 2018, and so Tbilisi in Georgia is in the northern hemisphere. So their school year starts in September and goes until July, sort of like a typical school year that we know about. But in Argentina, it's March till December. So I was like, okay, this is May or June. I still have to finish in December. But the job in Tbilisi was going to start in September. So I was like, okay, well, I'd have to leave Argentina midway through the year. And so I communicated, so I applied for the job and I communicated with the school in Georgia. I said, like, I can come now, but it might be better for my school if I wait till the end of the year. And I got the interview, everything was good, very good positive interaction. And I thought I was going to get the job, but that piece about like me even mentioning I should probably finish the year here because they're both international house schools, I think that's what broke the deal. And what was terrible for me was like I was so stoked. I was like, yes, like my future, this is gonna be awesome. Like really looking forward to it. And it really it went up for a long time. And like so then finally I realized it wasn't gonna happen. And it was much the same as the previous year with the girl where I thought maybe and no. It was like the same thing, maybe no, and a long wait period too. Where I was kind of like no, I don't know. So that was another like serious kick in the nuts for me. So instead of like just taking it, I started thinking, I was like, okay, well, you got to redirect this energy into something. Like, And I knew it was time to leave Argentina. Like, regardless of going to Georgia or not, I knew it was time to go. Like I mentioned, I had developed a real routine and there wasn't much development. So I thought, okay, well, it's totally ridiculous, it's totally stupid, but maybe I can try to get that car home after the Argentinian school year, so in December, January, start the trip home, get home in time for May of 2019 and start applying for jobs at that point once I get back to Kamloops. So it's totally ridiculous. Anybody with any brains would just abandon the car, but even though I'm like into abandoned spaces and places like that, the periphery, the mythology, I could never abandon the car. I was just like, no, I can't do it. But it wasn't that easy because, as I told you last time, I had a bribe that I had to do when I brought the car back into the country. I got 8 months, but that 8 months was going to expire September 6th, and I needed to keep that car in the country till the end of the teaching year, until December. So I had some major tactical maneuvering to do that was very difficult. So I'll get to that right now.